What a play from Cyclones! And that is destroyed! Tie game! Play down the third baseline. Peter makes a great play from Peter McNeil. And that's a shot! Cyclones, what a play! Oh, a moonshot. Oh, he rolled it! What a catch! What a catch! Coming home. And he gets it. What a play! What a play! The double play from Jerry Langston. And that ball is out of here. Walk-off home run, Jake Oliver. He's advancing home. I don't know if I like it. Oh! He got him. Oh my God! He crossed the plate before he was there. In play, that's a fair ball. What a play from Cyclones! And that is destroyed! Tie game! Play down the third baseline. Peter makes a great play from Peter McNeil. know if I like it. Oh, no! He got him! Oh, my God! It crossed the plate before he was there.
That's a fair ball. Jacob, what a play from Jacob! And that is destroyed! Yeah, tie game! In play down the third baseline. Peter makes a great play from Peter McNeil. In play, that's a fair ball to Jacob. What a play from Jacob! And that is destroyed! Yeah, tie game! 60. That's in play down the third baseline. Peter makes a great play from Peter McNeil.
Justice already took advantage of that. What a play over at third.
He's heading home. Oh, he's out. He's gonna be out. Jordan Rice heads out. Trey Cluxton right. Switch it over to first and still get Alex Hart.
Cross, get out, ball later!
And he might have just missed it. Got it wrong from Jordan Rice. And that's a shot. That's a what a play.
Steps on second, throws over to first. He actually did it! No, that's a rock up!
That's in play down the third baseline. Peter makes a great play from Peter McNeil.
Oh, Philip goes to Parker. Walked off the season.
Good evening, this is Joe.
Cross, get out, ball later!
And that ball is out of here. Walk-off home run, Jake Oliver.
Nighthawks are the 2023 AWA champions.
Flare it up. What a play for Peter McNeil!
What's going on, wiffle ball fans, and welcome to Edmonds, Washington. We're here at AWA Field for the Atlantic Aces taking on the Central Cyclones. How's it going, everybody? We're very excited for this matchup tonight. Cyclones sitting at 10-5, Aces at 7-8. I'm Mark Campanaro, joined alongside Jace Pratt. Jace, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. How about yourself? It's good to be back for sure.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Very excited for another full week of wiffle ball, and we are going to get right into it tonight. So we're going to get into the starting lineups.
Evan Clarkston, Duke University.
Jackson Carr, I'm Ham.
Zane Phillips, Mount Lake Terrace High School.
Alex Ballard, Kings Elementary.
Jeremy Langstead, Sherwood.
Salou Fati, West Appalachian State, Junior Community College.
That is your Central Cyclones starting lineup for tonight. And now we're going to go on to the Atlantic Aces. Take it away.
Aaron Schofield, Washington State University.
Moses Valadez, go Wave.
Morgan Granich, Northwest Guatemalan High School.
Dylan Carroll, Lil Man, Big Dreams.
Jack Scholl, Maplewood Elementary.
Kanoa Jandock, University of Washington.
That is your starting lineup for the Atlantic Aces. Both great teams here tonight. Going to be going head to head. We're going to get right into the weather tonight.
Good evening. This is Joe Acord from the AWA Weather Center.
Good evening, wiffle ball fans. Tonight looks like a great night tonight. As you can see in the marina, there's no clouds up there, but I expect a little bit more clouds. I'm expecting a little bit more clouds this evening, but nothing in terms of rain. And as we look at the forecast for this evening and then the forecast for Wednesday, it does look like rain chances increase on Wednesday. And as we get to the digger forecast for tonight, last week we hit 12. We didn't hit 13. I think there was a miscue in the first game. But anyway, let's light them up tonight. I got it going 8 tonight. John, what do you think? Everybody have a great night. Remember, there's dingers or nothing. Like, absolutely nothing.
Big thank you there to Joe for the weather update tonight. And yeah, unfortunately, going to have some rain coming in most likely on Wednesday. But it's a beautiful night here tonight. We're going to send it down to Robert, who's got Jackson Carr of the Central Cyclones.
Yesterday or 2 days ago?
2 days ago, yep.
Are you sore? How are you feeling?
Feel brand new. I'm ready to go.
Good. So we missed you last couple of weeks, but what's your strategy here in a big series?
Yeah, you know, it's a big series. I played well against the Aces last time. I've been playing softball too, luckily, so I'm still kind of got the mojo going. Yeah, we're just going to play our game, bring it back to the basics.
Nice. What are those basics that you're looking for tonight?
You know, just find the right pitch. Don't overcomplicate things, and yeah, just get the win.
All right, good luck out there.
Thank you.
All right, back to the booth, guys.
Great to hear from Jackson Carr there. Thank you, Robert. We appreciate it as always. So we're going to get game one started here very shortly between the Atlantic Aces and the Central Cyclones. And you can't say enough about the Atlantic Aces this year. They have an explosive lineup, and their offense this year has been rolling. I mean, you can just go down their lineup. Aaron Schofield, one of the leaders in home runs this year. Moses Valadez as well is up there, and Dylan Carroll is in that conversation as well. Dylan Carroll has really been coming on as a fantastic pitcher for this Aces squad, and he pitched very well a couple weeks ago against the Pilots. So we will most likely be seeing him on the mound in this game one. And of course, Moses Valadez, we know how electric he is as well on the mound. So if he's not pitching in this game one, he'll likely be pitching in either games 2 or 3 this evening. So we'll see what's happening. Game one, we're going to get it underway here very shortly, and we will be back momentarily for first pitch. And excuse me, Moses Valadez is going to be on the mound here in this game 1. First pitch from Valadez hits Carr on the shoulder for a ball. 1-0 now to Carr, and that's outside. Good to be underway here at AWA Field. Game number 1 of this 3-game series between the Aces and the Cyclones. Carr swing and a miss for strike 1. Count now moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. And yeah, I mean, that's one of the crazy things about Washington. Ground ball over to Aaron Schofield. He bare hands it, throws over to Carroll at first. Carroll cannot hold on. So Jackson Carr gets on just like that for the Cyclones. And now we're going to have Zane Phillips stepping up to the plate. Zane Phillips, what a year he is having, leading this Cyclones squad in home runs. 62 miles per hour was on the gun, so it's a no pitch 0-0, and that ball right there will make it a 1-0 count. And that's fouled off. I got 1-1. Is that what you guys have?
Yeah. No pitching there. Should we? 2-1.
Well, didn't you go around right there?
No.
No?
No.
2-0, yeah. 2-0, my bad.
No, but I have the foul ball though too. So.
Oh no, he
2-1, 2-1. Okay, thank you.
Oh, that was the 62 then. No, and then he fouled off. Yeah. Oh, the foul. Yeah. So 2-1.
Okay, 2-1. 2-1 is the count here to Zane Phillips. That's low for ball 3. Ground ball down the third base side. That'll be a fair ball. That's a well-placed ground ball there from Zane Phillips. A nice infield single for Zane. The Cyclones now with runners on first and second. Nobody out. Alex Ballard to the plate. Fouled off. Strike 1. One of the cool things this season in the AWA is we've seen a lot of teams start to create some custom bats. And we see right here with the Central Cyclones, they got the orange tape on the bat. That's their custom team bat. And it really started off with its ground ball in play. Morgan Granich fields it cleanly but couldn't get there in time to make a play. So that'll be an infield single for Alex Ballard. And the bases are now loaded just like that. Nobody out. Aces find themselves in a difficult situation here. In the very early stages of game number 1, Jackson Carr up to the plate now.
Yeah, like you were saying about the bats, a couple of teams got the custom bats here. Looks like it's working for the Cyclones. Starting off early, bases loaded. Maybe it doesn't hit many home runs, but singles down the line seem to be working right now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just not something that we've seen in the league so far. He does go around, so that'll be a strikeout. Moses Valadez, his first strikeout of the evening, and that's our first out here in the top of the first inning. But yeah, I mean, you know, we just really haven't seen any customized type of bats for teams before. Generally, all the teams would share bats here at the AWA. But this season, it really started off with the pilots, DJ Oliver and Jake Oliver, making some custom bats. And then it just kind of started to trickle down throughout the league, and we've been seeing more and more team customized bats. And, you know, I'm all for it. I like it.
And any way to give your team a little bit of flair, I'm all for.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the other thing is, too, is that, you know, ground ball over to Aaron Schofield. He tags out Jackson Carr for out number 2. A run does come in to score. So the Cyclones, they take an early 1-0 lead here in the top of the first of game 1. Runners are on first and second for the Cyclones. Cyclones playing with just 3 men here in this game number 1. Jackson Carr, Zane Phillips, and Alex Ballard. Jeremy Langsted, he will be here tonight. If not for the end of game 1, he will be here for the start of game 2, most likely, from what I'm being told.
Yeah, and No Evan is a big hit to these Cyclones. He's really been a great pitcher like he has been since he ever joined, and it's tough playing 3 games without your perennial Cy Young candidate. But let's see if the Cyclones can get it done. They got an early lead here, 1-0.
Yeah, and the bats are going to be having to fly here tonight for the ball's going to have to fly here for the Cyclones tonight if they want to have an opportunity against this Aces squad. I mean, this Aces team is, as we were mentioning earlier in the broadcast, is just explosive on offense. I mean, Aaron Schofield, Moses Valadez, as well as Dylan Carroll, they are all in the conversation for trying to lead the league in home runs. They are all within the top 10. And, I mean, that's impressive for a team to have 3 guys in the top 10 in home runs.
Yeah, they were all leading a couple weeks ago. Around the league, they haven't played a game or whatever it may be, but other people have taken over. They might still all be in the top 5. And Morgan's only played a handful of games, but he's definitely hit some home runs.
Yeah, Morgan Granish, he's been getting hot. And, I mean, we remember Morgan Granish. She had to miss the first few series of the season for the Aces, as many of you may have come to find out. Morgan Granish is a coach, and he has a summer ball team that he coaches, so kind of hard for him to get here every single series. But he's been able to make the last few. And he does go around there for a strike. That's outside, so it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carr. Swing and a miss. Down goes Jackson Carr for out number 3. But the Cyclones, they put a run up on the board. They lead it 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. First pitch to Aaron Schofield connects for strike 1. That pitch is high, so a ball and a strike now to Schofield. Zane Phillips on the mound for the Central Cyclones here to start game number 1. Just over the head of Schofield. It's now 3-1, and this is definitely a guy that you need to be careful with, especially how the start of his season has gone. He gets on base consistently. He hits for power, hits for average. He does it all for this Aces squad. Now facing a 3-2 count here against Zane Phillips. I said 3-2.
Oh, no, I know. That's on him. What? Oh, the play is it? That's on him. The music was going on. Oh. That's so funny. I'm not very locked into that. That's bad aim.
3-2 on the way to Schofield, and that's in the dirt for ball 4.
And there's a little patch of sun out by the mound, and I've heard a few guys already make a point that the shadows are rough here.
Yeah.
They're saying that the pitches look faster than they are just because they can't pick it up as early as they normally would. You would like to see Zane just fill it up and use those to his advantage while they're still here.
Yeah, and that's something that we don't really talk about a whole lot here in the AWA. But when you have a sunny day, game 1, you're right. The shadows do make an impact on the hitters. It can be a little difficult sometimes early in the series, but it tends to go away later in the series, which is nice. But yeah, for Zane Phillips, if he can use that to his advantage here early, it'd be great. Try to keep this 1-run lead that they have intact.
Yeah, we'll have to see what time the sun starts going down tonight. Since we're getting closer to summer, it's up for a little bit later. Starting to get dark later in the night, where early in the season, you know, game 2, game 3, we'd have the lights on, it was dark out. Might get a three sunny day, or 3 sunny games here today.
Yeah. I mean, we just had the longest day of the year a few days ago, so that was nice. But yeah, staying light here late, which I love. It's one of the best parts about summers in Washington. First pitch here to Morgan Granich is a ball. Second pitch is in there, strike 1. That's just high as Phillips misses with the slider. Comes right back to it. Ground ball past Zane Phillips. Nobody's at first. Unfortunately, the Cyclones, playing with only 3 men here tonight, did not have somebody over there to cover first, and the bases are now loaded for the Aces, with who other than Dylan Carroll stepping up to the plate. Carroll looks at ball 1 and immediately looks at ball 2. And there's ball 3. Quick 3-0 here to Carroll. And he doesn't even move on that 4th pitch. A 4-pitch walk to Dylan Carroll, and that'll walk in the first run for the Aces. It's now 1-1. And Zane Phillips, as we are seeing here early, just struggling to find the zone. And it might be a pretty rough series here for Zane Phillips if he's not going to be able to find that zone early. This team, they'll make you pay, especially if you're walking them. So we'll see what Zane Phillips can come back with here. Ball and a strike now to Schofield. Just high.
Yeah, we know the Aces are going to get their runs. It's just a matter of how they're going to do it tonight. Is it going to be a whole bunch of walks, like a slow bleed, or just one big hit? I mean, a grand slam here with Moses on the mound, you would think gets close to putting the game away in the first. Moses has been nails all year.
Yeah, he has been, and Aaron Schofield did go around there for a strike, so it's now a full count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. But you know Aaron Schofield in this situation, you know, he's been looking for home runs all season long. Definitely looking to go yard here. Full count, the 3-2 from Zane Phillips freezes Aaron Schofield. He strikes out looking. And now Moses Valadez will step up to the plate.
If you're Schofield, that just can't happen.
Well, that is ripped over the foul pole and out of here. Moses Valadez, a grand slam. And the Aces have blown it wide open. They now lead 5-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. I mean, wow, this offense is just rolling for the Aces. Valadez goes over the foul pole in left to give the Aces a 4-run lead. And this team, they just keep on hitting. They are one of the most dangerous offensive teams in the league.
And that's where it gets really scary for the Cyclones. I mean, maybe having 3 guys can be an advantage while hitting, especially if everyone's on. You kind of get through guys quicker. But it gets scary once they put those few runs up.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, as us being the past, we've faced the Aces twice so far already this year, and let me tell you, in my opinion, there has not been a team that's tougher to pitch to than this squad this season, because just up and down their lineup, they have guys that can just absolutely make you pay for any mistakes that you have, and this team is just truly rolling right now as Morgan Granich draws a walk. Dylan Carroll now going to have an opportunity here for the Aces. Aces have put up 5 runs here in the bottom of the first inning. As many of you know, there's a 6-run limit in innings 1 and 2. So if the Aces were to put up 1 more, that would end the inning. 1-1 the count to Carroll. Low and inside, ball 2. And way outside for ball 3. So 3-1 now to Carroll. And unfortunately for Zane Phillips, just continues to struggle a little bit here with command early in the going of game number 1 as Carroll helps him out there. Swing and a miss. Count is now full. Fouled it into the zone. Count remains full. 3-2. And Dylan Carroll, swing and a miss. He strikes out. 2 away. Now here in the bottom of the first, we go back to the top of the order with Aaron Schofield. And I mean, if you're Zane Phillips in the Cyclones, if you can get 1 more out and just hold this Aces squad to just 5 runs in this inning, that's a win right there. And that's gonna be a difficult play for Alex Ballard. Nobody's at first. Jackson Carr's covering second. Ballard could not get it over there in time to Carr. So that'll have been infield single for Aaron Schofield. And now Moses Valadez to the plate, fresh off of a grand slam in his last at-bat. Way outside there from Phillips, 2-0. And that's high.
This is where you got to be careful if you're Zane. We were talking about there is a run limit unless it goes over the fence. You get the runs for the runners that are on. So if Zane were to walk 2 straight guys here, they get away with 6. But if Moses puts one over the fence, it's 8-1.
Valadez a swing and a miss, 3-1, and yeah, you bring up a great point, Jace. I mean, there's some strategy to this, and you gotta think as the Cyclones, like, hey, do we risk it and try to maybe give them more runs than they can get, or do we just walk in that 6th run, end the inning, and say, hey, that inning was a wash. We're gonna just try to gut it out for the rest of the game. Valadez a walk, and so now the decision is coming for Phillips. Does he decide to walk him in, or is he going to try to throw to Granic and potentially risk giving up that grand slam, which would make it a 9-1 ball game?
Yeah, Zane might just walk him here, take that 6, call it a loss on the inning, but Morgan's swinging for the fences. He's trying to give the Aces as big a lead as possible here.
2-0 the count. Does not go around. 3 balls, no strikes, and looking like we might have a walk here. And that is exactly what we have. A 4-pitch walk to Morgan Granic. Walks in the 6th run of the inning, so that'll end the bottom of the first. Aces put up 6. They lead it 6-1. We go to the top of the second. We're here in the top of the second inning. Cyclones down 5 after giving up a 6 spot to the Aces. Ground ball up the middle. Granic bare hands it, throws on over to Dylan Carroll, and it's in time to get Zane Phillips for out number 1. Great play there from Morgan Granic. One-handed it able to make the play on Zane Phillips. That was a hard hit ground ball from Zane Phillips. Normally a hit.
Yeah, it got a little unlucky. It looks like it hit the grass and almost spun right to Morgan. Great play on his part, but Zane definitely a little unlucky there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Moses Valadez in this situation, I mean, it feels great as a pitcher to be pitching with a 5-run lead. And he looks like he's pitching very confidently up there right now. That is ripped high, and it is going to be a foul ball. Just goes to the right of the foul pole. Thought it might have a chance, but it kept tailing out to the right. It's foul. Unfortunate there for the Cyclones, as they definitely needed that.
2-2, yeah. Oh, that's a ball. That's a ball. You're good. You're good.
2-2 on the way here to Ballard. Low and outside. Ballard holds off, works a walk, so he gets on for the Cyclones. Jackson Carr will now step in.
And as far as Moses, he's still up there as confident as can be with a 5-run lead here. He knows that they only have 5 more outs to work with. If he can get an out for every run he gives up, they got a tie game, and you know this Aces team is going to put up at least a couple more with how they're swinging it here early.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Moses in the first inning, he looked good, but when he was coming out here for the second, I could just tell. I was like, gosh, he's feeling definitely pitching with some more confidence here in this inning, knowing he's got a lead. Knowing he's like, hey, you know, I got my offense behind me, even if things were to get bad. So. Full count here to Carr. And that's low for ball 4. Jackson Carr working a walk. So that's back-to-back walks for the Cyclones. And Zane Phillips to the plate.
And he got unlucky as last time. Like we were talking about, hit it hard, just on the ground. If that's even head height, that probably gets out here with the backspin it had on it. So got to be a little scared if you're the Aces right now. 2 walks is unlike Moses.
Ground ball right to Aaron Schofield, and he makes the play. Great play there from Sco, getting the lead runner for out number 2. But yeah, I don't think we've talked enough about Zane Phillips and his offense this year. I mean, he has been quietly one of the best hitters in the league this season. As Alex Ballard takes strike 1. And that's outside for a ball. 1-1 here to Ballard. Outside again. It's 2-1. Way inside.
As far as Zane goes, he's one of the only guys that you don't see out here just trying to hit the ball over the fence every single at bat. He'll take his low singles. He's one of the fastest players in the league. He knows he can beat anything out on the ground. So I think that's his game plan when he gets here, and he really puts it to work.
Yeah, and I mean, on top of that as well, I mean, he can really get a hold of some balls and take it out to the.
He's got sneaky power for sure. He swings very hard.
I mean, I saw him earlier in the season. He took a pitch out to the deepest part of the park in left center, and he hit that thing about halfway up the tree out there in left center. That was impressive. Ball 1 here to Jackson Carr. Bases are loaded for the Cyclones. A big opportunity for them to try to cut this lead down as Valadez able to connect on the outside part of the zone.
Yeah, if you're the Cyclones, you don't need them all back this inning. You just love to chip away here.
Ripped high, and it gets out of here over the fence. A grand slam, Jackson Carr. Wow. Puts the Cyclones within 1 run. A line drive shot over the right field wall. Barely got out of here, but it gets over the fence and puts the Cyclones within 1. That is exactly what they needed. First pitch to Zane Phillips is a strike, and Phillips absolutely rocketed that ball down the third base side, and that's going to does not get past Aaron Schofield. He's able to knock it down, but an infield single for Zane Phillips, and he is on. Alex Ballard now to the plate. That was such a big grand slam from Jackson Carr, and that's ripped out to center. Alex Ballard puts the Cyclones up 1, a 2-run shot, and the Cyclones now take the lead. They lead it 7-6, and they reach the 6-run limit to end the top of the second. What a job from this Cyclones offense, going ahead after giving up the 6-run limit in the bottom of the first. Cyclones lead at 7-6 as we go to the bottom of the second. And we are here in the bottom of the second. Dylan Carroll to the plate. Zane Phillips still on the mound. Carroll goes around on a pitch that hits him right in the groin. And geez, that is never a good feeling, especially when you go around. Dylan Carroll, it's kind of an embarrassing moment. Not gonna lie right there. He's laughing now. Should be okay. Jeez. Not good there from Carroll. But he's all good to go. So 0-1. But we were mentioning, I mean, as the announcers, we were poo-hooing the Cyclones a little bit up here in the booth after they gave up 6 to the Aces in the bottom of the first. We were like, oh, shoot, you know, they're down 5. Don't have Evan Clugston, their ace. Only have 3 men. Facing an explosive Aces offense, it's going to be tough for them. And what do? They come back in the top of the second. They score 6 runs, and they go ahead. Love that fight from the Cyclones as Zane Phillips strikes out Dylan Carroll on an interesting at-bat for out number 1.
Yeah, we were talking about it. The Cyclones only have the 3 players, which is going to hurt them on defense, but when they're hot, it's amazing on offense. You get through your guys that are on fire as quick as possible. And we saw that. Walk after hit, and then a few big swings there towards the end of the inning.
Yeah, and I mean, Jackson Carr hitting a grand slam. Just getting that thing over the wall in right field was really what started it. And then Alex Ballard adding on with a 2-run shot, giving this team the lead, and it just, you know, this is going to be a good game, and it seems like it's just going to be a back and forth battle between these two squads. Aaron Schofield's looking at a 2-2. Now full. Hits the zone. Aaron Schofield hit the zone with his bat. Strikes out for out number 2. An unfortunate situation there from Schofield as the zone infringed on his swing. Wasn't able to get his bat out there. Strikes out.
And now the Cyclones got their 4th player, so we'll see how that turns out.
Now there we go. Jeremy Langsted getting slotted right in there. So they are now at full strength with 4.
And huge bounce back 2 outs for Zane too. A rough first inning, but they came out on the bats, took the lead back, and his team showed him they weren't just going to roll over and die. They came to fight back, and he's shown that he can do that on the mound too. Got the first 2 outs here quick.
Yeah, you know, you love to see the fight from this Cyclone squad, and you know, this is going to be a ball game. It's going to be a ball game here in this game 1, and I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty crazy series for these 2 teams, especially if they're going to be continuing to hit like this. Morgan Granich steps in now with a runner on first. Popped up. Foul. So that'll go out of play. Strike one. Just a tad high there for ball one. And spikes that one into the dirt for ball two. So now 2-1 count to Morgan Granich. Does the exact same thing again. Another spike. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Granich. That's high for ball 4. So after getting 2 quick outs, St. Phillips walks the last 2 batters he saw. Dylan Carroll to the plate.
And you got to wonder if Zane's still in the mindset that he's got only 2 people behind him looking for strikeouts only, where now if that ball gets put in the play on the left side of the field, it's not just one guy over there and Alex. It's you got Jeremy and Alex over there to help you out.
Yeah, it helps. It helps having 4, especially in the field on defense. Because as we saw in inning number 1, Cyclones, they had ground balls hit to them a few times in that inning, and they just didn't have anybody over there to cover first. Carroll fouls that one off. 3-1. And that's high. So the bases are now loaded. And Zane Phillips, after striking out the first 2 batters he saw in the inning, he's now walked 3 in a row. Bases are loaded. Aaron Schofield will step up to the plate. And you know, he's not happy from that first at-bat he had in the inning, so we're going to see something big here from Aaron, I have a feeling. Looks at ball 1. Swing and a miss. Second pitch is now a ball and a strike to Schofield.
And you know, Aaron doesn't love taking his walks, but you got another situation here. You got bases loaded, 2 outs. You know, your ace up there on the mound. You take your walk and you tie the game here if he gives it to you.
And that's exactly what he did as Aaron Schofield looks at ball 4. That'll walk in the tying run as the Aces tie it up at 7-7. Bases are still loaded. Moses Valadez stepping up to the plate, trying to take back the lead. First pitch inside for ball 1. And the second pitch is low for a ball as well.
Moses looking for his second grand slam of the game. 3-0. I'm pretty sure he's got the green light here.
Nicks the top part of the zone. Strike 1. 3-1 count now. That's high. So Valadez, he will walk in the Aces. They will take an 8-7 lead in the bottom of the second as they're able to reclaim that lead that they lost. Now up 8-7. Morgan Granich to the plate. Popped up into the air. It's going to stay in the yard. Jeremy Langston underneath it, and he makes the grab for out number 3. 3 away. Aces put up a couple of runs on the board here in the bottom of the second. They retake the lead 8-7. We go to the top of the third.
Who's that? Oh, my God. Hey, do you know who's that? Jackson? Hey, 3 hits, 3 runs. That's all we need, baby. Come on. If we can hold this out. Jackson and Jeremy. Jackson and Jeremy? You're hitting 3? 1? Oh, you put Jeremy in at 2? Oh, okay. That's good. That's fine.
Jackson Carr will lead it off. Aces trying to shut this thing down. Up a run. Carr fouls that pitch off. Ball and a strike. Hits the top part of the zone. Valadez. Great pitch from him. A ball and 2 strikes. And Jackson Carr has just hit a solo home run to tie this game up. That's Carr's second home run of the game. 5 RBIs in the game for Carr. And this game is tied. Jackson Carr have a game. Wow.
Jeremy stepping up. First AB of the day. I don't know how loose he is. Maybe he could be up here hacking, but Jeremy is one of those guys that definitely takes his walks.
That's a great job from Jackson Carr, who's really having a great game. He's got 5 of these Cyclones, 8 RBIs. Jeremy Langstead, ball 1, and that's inside for ball 2. So 2-0. Inside again, 3 balls, no strikes to Langstead. Outside for ball 4. So Jeremy Langstead gets on, and it looks like showing up late doesn't really have any effect on him. He just works a walk. Does look like we're going to have a pitching change here, though. Dylan Carroll is going to come in. Valadez just said, hey, you know, I need a rest. I'm going to let Dylan Carroll come in and try to hold this thing to tie so we can come back and try to walk it off. So Dylan Carroll, he'll get in some warm-up pitches, and we'll be back shortly to resume the top of the 3rd once Carroll's ready.
Hey, Jack, one second. Jack, how do you swap it?
You just click on the number or the position on the field.
You got it.
So Zane Phillips now up to the plate, and this will be the first batter that Dylan Carroll faces. That's popped up. Hits the roof of the house. Gets out of play. Ball and a strike now to Phillips. Way high there. Ball 2. And that's inside. 3 balls, 1 strike to Phillips. Hits the zone. Nice pitch from Carroll. Ripped out to right center, and it gets over the wall for a 2-run shot. The Cyclones now take the lead. They lead it 10-8 here in the final inning of Game 1. Wow, this Cyclones team, they are having a game.
We came into the top of the 3rd not knowing if we were even going to see the Aces bat. Cyclones coming in trailing. Now, Aces got some work to do, and the Cyclones aren't done. They got no outs here in the inning.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we were talking about it in the 1st. I mean, Aces put up 6 runs in the 1st. They go up 5 early in the game, led it 6-1, and now the Cyclones, they've battled all the way back, and they now lead it 10-8 in the final inning. Been an unbelievable offensive performance from this Cyclone squad. They are not giving up, and they still aren't done here, as Jace mentioned in this inning. Nobody on, nobody out. Fouled off there from Ballard. It's a full count. That's fouled back as well, so Ballard staying in there. Inside ball 4, and Alex Ballard, he walks The Aces, they desperately need out number 1 in the top of the third. They want to try to keep this thing close.
And something I'm noticing here is towards the early part of the game, we were talking about those shadows, and there is some out there, but Dylan's a left-handed pitcher, so he's pitching in the shade the whole time. And you know, it seems like it's hurting him here a little bit. He's been getting hit hard around for the few pitches that he's been in.
Yeah, and that could really have an effect, as you mentioned, the shadows. And with this Cyclone squad, as well as they've been hitting here in this game, I mean, we talk about Jackson Carr. He's got a couple of home runs on the evening. He strikes out there, so the Aces, they get that much-needed first out that they've been looking for. First pitch to Langsted is low. And that hits him for ball 2. So 2-0. Low again. 3 balls, no strikes. Fouled off. Yeah, for Dylan Carroll, a little bit of a difficult situation coming in the final inning of Game 1. Coming in cold after having played first for the whole game. Might have had something to do with that early home run that he gave up to Zane Phillips. Line drive right there in Schofield. It hits the ground. He throws past Alex Ballard. And Ballard gets all the way over to third. Runners advance. Runners on second and third for the Cyclones. Everybody is safe. In that situation, you got to wonder if you're Aaron Schofield maybe holding on to the ball there. Might have been the best thing he could have done in that situation.
Yeah, tough call. Schofield being one of the better defenders in the league. Usually you trust your gut, and since the bases are so close together, you know, if you sit there and you think about it, most of the time they're going to be safe.
That is absolutely crushed out to left center. Zane Phillips, a 3-run home run. That's his second home run in consecutive at-bats. And the Cyclones now lead it 13-8 here in the top of the third. Zane Phillips, have a day. That's Zane Phillips' 10th home run on the year. He's in double digits. This guy is having a year for the Cyclones. Wow.
Things about it, he doesn't hit short home runs when he does hit them. Like we were talking about, I think even if that fence number out there said 180, that probably still cleared it or got pretty close. It had the distance to clear a second fence if there was one back behind it.
Yeah, if there's anything that we are learning about today is that you need to be careful when you're pitching to Zane Phillips. That guy is lethal.
Yeah, just the Cyclones in general. I mean, they went down 6-1 in the first. We were talking, you know, Moses, one of the better pitchers in the league. This game, it might be over. And they didn't just roll over. They came out and they put up 12 runs over 1.1 innings. And they're not done yet.
Yeah, I love seeing this fight from the Cyclone squad. I mean, even as the announcers, we were kind of poo-hooing them a little bit earlier in the game, but I mean, wow, what a performance from this team. You gotta be kidding me. Jackson Carr, that's his 3rd home run of the evening, a 2-run shot, and the Cyclones are now up 15-8 in the top of the third. It just continues for the Cyclones as they continue to rain down these home runs on the Aces defense. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Cyclones are just home run after home run after home run. Wow, Jackson Carr, he's got 3. Zane Phillips got 2. And Alex Ballard's got 1. Now we're just waiting for one from Jeremy Langsted, and he showed up here late. 2-1.
If you hit a home run, I'll go next.
Two and 1 to Lankstead here as he fouls that one back to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Lankstead goes around for strike 3. 2 away.
And this offensive explosion from the Cyclones, it's really just telling me summer's here. It's hot out, got a little bit of wind. I mean, this is what you should be expecting. Some high-scoring games here coming up during these next couple weeks.
You've got to be kidding me. Zane Phillips has faced Dylan Carroll 3 times so far, and he has hit 3 home runs. Every time he's faced Dylan Carroll, he has taken it over the fence. That is Zane Phillips' 11th home run on the year. And he now puts the Cyclones up 16-8 here in the 3rd. Unbelievable. Zane Phillips, have a day.
Don't take that away from me. Yeah, can you go shag balls, bro? I am so screwed though. Bring a camera for content. You'll probably find like two of them.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here in this game, but I think the Central Cyclones, they're going to need to be tested after this game for some steroids because, my goodness, they are hitting home runs like crazy today. Unbelievable. 3-1 is the count to Ballard. And the Aces, they are desperately looking for that 3rd and final out here in the top of the 3rd. Try to get back up to the plate and try this game, but this is going to be a tall task. Down 8 runs. That'll be ball 4. So Alex Ballard walks, and Jackson Carr stepping up to the plate. Carr, 3 home runs in the game. I mean, my goodness, it's unbelievable. That hits Carr, 2-0. Way outside there, 3 balls, no strikes.
Foul.
That's ball 4.
No, it's a foul. I swung.
All right, we're going to call that a foul ball. 3 balls, 1 strike to Carr.
I'd like to take a look at that one in the booth. I think I might hit the zone first.
Swings at it, so a full count. Popped up into the air, and Schofield makes the grab for out number 3. But we had a frenzy of home runs from the Central Cyclones. They lead it 16-8 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch to Dylan Carroll. It's just high. High again. 2-0. Gonna be a tall task for this Aces squad to come back from this 8-run deficit. Aces, they were ahead 8. Dylan Carroll rips that out to right after Zane Phillips took Dylan Carroll deep 3 times in 1 inning. Dylan Carroll now takes Zane Phillips deep out to right. Unreal. I don't even know what's going on in this game. This is nuts. The amount of home runs that we have seen is absolutely unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah, Aces come into this inning down 8, and it might not be over. If there was a squad to put up that many runs other than the Cyclones like we've seen today, I would put my money on the Aces.
I mean, just because I kind of want to see it happen, hopefully they'll do the opposite of this, but I just don't think it's possible with the Aces to come all the way back. Do you? This would be crazy. This would be absolutely nuts. This would go down as probably one of the greatest games in the history of the AWA if they were able to come back from this.
Yeah, it's definitely a tall task. I mean, 7 runs that's not easy by any means, but with a lineup 1 through 4 where anyone can hit it over the fence on any swing, these guys have a good chance.
That's ripped down the third base side. It'll get out of play. That'll be a ground rule double. So Aaron Schofield will have to come back over to third. Ground rule double.
Ground rule double. Go back to third, buddy. Yeah,
Runners on second and third for the Aces. Morgan Greenwich to the plate. Still nobody out here in the inning. First pitch here to Greenwich. Outside. Ball 1. And that's low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. And that's low for ball 3. 3-0 to Greenwich. 16-9 here in the bottom of the third inning. I don't even know how many home runs we've had today. I've lost count. Aces trying to retake the lead. And Morgan Greenwich works a 4-pitch walk, so the bases are loaded for Dylan Carroll. Dylan Carroll hit a deep shot out to right in his last at-bat, a solo home run. And we just got word there's been 9 home runs in game number 1 alone. We're in the first game of the 3-game series. 9 home runs in 1 game. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, the Cyclones have 7 of them, and that's a good series between the 2 teams.
Yeah.
Is 7 home runs.
Oh yeah.
That's a solid amount of home runs for
Yeah.
a series for 2 teams.
Yeah.
The Cyclones have that in game 1.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. I mean, at this rate, somebody on these teams is gonna come ahead as the home run leader, not by just 1 or 2, but by many. It's gonna be unbelievable.
Yeah, and we got a whole bunch of people that are up for that running. I mean, just the people alone that could take it today: Zane, Dylan, Aaron, Moses, maybe even Alex if he keeps having a good series.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson.
Anyone here could take over that home run lead with the way these guys are swinging the bat today.
Yeah, this has been absolutely crazy. So the bases are loaded. A run came in to score from that walk. It's now 16-10. Cyclones still looking for that first out. This will get absolutely insane if the Aces can tie this here. Ball 1. Huge cut there from Schofield. Ball and a strike. That's fouled off.
Yeah, you got to think that maybe if Zane walks Schofield here or gives up a big hit, that they try and bring someone else in just to stop the bleeding, because they still have a little bit of wiggle room. 6 runs, but that could get lower here real quick.
Ripped way foul on the third base side. High and inside. Full count to Aaron Schofield.
Yeah, big pitch here.
Spikes it into the dirt, ball 4, and that brings another run in for the Aces. And the Cyclones, their lead is now cut down to 5. Moses Valadez stepping up to the plate. He's already got a grand slam in the series.
Yeah, nice thing for Zane here is even if Moses does clear the bases, they still have a little lead, so it's not all hope lost if he puts one over the fence, but this is where you get a little scared.
2 balls, no strikes to Valadez. That That's high. 3-0, and if he walks this run in, that'll bring up the tying run to the plate. And he does. Tying run coming up to the plate. It's now 16-12. Morgan Granich represents that tying run, and the Cyclones still don't have an out yet. It looks like we're going to make a pitching, the Cyclones are going to make a pitching change, and Alex Ballard will step in and start pitching here in the bottom of the third, trying to shut this thing down. A difficult situation for Ballard to step into. So we'll see what happens here. This has been a crazy, crazy series so far. We'll be back shortly after Ballard gets his warm-up throws in.
Big ups to the Mandem. Big ups to the what? Mandem. Alex, just don't give up 4 runs. That's all you have to do. Big ups to the Mandem. You go M for M.
Morgan Granich represents the tying run for the Aces. They're down 4. Cyclones still looking for their first out of the inning, and this is just unbelievable. I mean, just when we thought this game was pretty much over after the Cyclones went up 16-8, the Aces are just crawling and inching their way back as Granich is looking at a 3-0 count, and that's a 4-pitch walk, so that'll bring in another run, and that'll bring up the winning run to the plate. Winning run. I mean, the amount of lead changes we've had in this game, it's just crazy. And if you like offense, well, let me tell you, this game number 1 has provided it. 9 home runs so far in this game. Pitch from Ballard.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and there has been a lead change every half inning of this game.
I mean, if the Aces are able to come back and win this thing, this will go down as one of the craziest games in AWA history.
And Alex is going to have to find that zone. He doesn't have much wiggle room to work with. Only down 3, up 3 here. 2 now.
And he walks Dylan Carroll. Alex Ballard has yet to throw a strike so far since taking over for Zane Phillips in the inning. Cyclones still looking for that first out. And this is crazy because the tying run is on at second. Winning run is on at first. And you have Aaron Schofield to the plate. Not a good situation for the Cyclones. First pitch inside to Schofield.
We'll have to see what Captain Aaron Schofield does here. Does he know that Alex hasn't thrown a strike yet?
That was his first one just there, yeah.
If he's going to keep his free swinging mentality.
Yeah, exactly. And he does, so.
Yeah, he knows one swing ends it here. And with the way they've been tacking runs on, I mean, they could afford an out at this point.
1-2 to Schofield is way outside for ball 2. Evens it here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's outside. Full count to Aaron Schofield. Pitch from Ballard. Schofield ground ball down the third base side, and Zane Phillips boops that one into foul territory, but a run comes in, so an RBI single for Aaron Schofield. It's now 16-15. Tying run is just 45 feet away at third, and the winning run is on second for Moses Valadez. What in the world?
It goes from having to hit the ball over the fence to just a hard single or something off the wall. Most likely ends this game. Dylan's pretty quick out there at second.
This is crazy. This is just wild. 16-15. Valadez to the plate. The pitch is high for ball 1. 1-0. And Valadez, a big swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-1 the count. That's outside for ball 2.
If you're Alex Ballard and the Cyclones, this is a necessary out here. You can't afford any more runs.
3-1, and Ballard now just a ball away from walking in the tying run. Popped up into the air. Jackson Carr underneath it, and he'll make the grab. The Cyclones, they've finally gotten their first out here in the bottom of the third, but they are nowhere near to being out of this just yet. Again, tying run, 45 feet away at third, winning run on at second. Morgan Granich is up. I mean, if the Cyclones were to be able to get 2 quick outs here and end this thing, I mean, no matter what happens in this situation, it'll be crazy. I mean, this has been an unbelievable series. As you've mentioned, we've had multiple lead changes, 9 home runs in this series. It just goes on and on and on. As Granich looks at ball 1. That hits him for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. High for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Hits the zone. And Ballard and the Cyclones, they needed that. 3-1. Hits Morgan Granich, and this game is now tied up 16-16 in the bottom of the third, just when you thought the Cyclones had come back and pretty much shut the game down in the top of the third after scoring. How many runs was it? I think it was 7 runs? 9 runs in the top of the third. They have now, the Aces have now tied it up 16-16 with the winning run on at third. Ball 1 to Dylan Carroll.
Yeah, and Dylan up, who came in for Moses, obviously, and ended up giving up those 9. Looking to make men's meet and absolutely come back. One of the most crazy games I've ever seen.
2-1 to Carroll is in there, and the count is now even at 2-2. Popped up into the air, and that'll get out of play. That's a foul ball. 2-2 is the count. Winning run on at third. This is wild. 16-16, bottom of the third. We're still in game 1 of this 3-game series. So we got a lot of ball left. The 2-2 to Carroll. Outside, 3-2. A walk would end this game and win it for the Aces. The pitch. Dylan Carroll strikes out for out number 2. That is so difficult because if he doesn't swing there, they win the game.
Yeah.
Wow, unreal. 16-16, 2 outs. Aaron Schofield is gonna step up to the plate. Can't think of a better person for this situation than Aaron Schofield.
Yeah, this is the right guy you want up in this situation. There's a reason he wears the C on his chest. There's a reason he has his own team. It's because he's been doing it, and he's been doing it at a high level for a long time.
Fouls that one off, 1-1. Can Aaron Schofield, the team captain of the Atlantic Aces, win it for them? 2-1. Ground ball. It does not get past the bunt line. That'll be a foul ball. Evens the count here at 2-2. Wow, this is getting crazy. 16-16, 2 outs, bottom of the third. 2-2 is the count. Can the team captain Aaron Schofield be the hero? Pitch from Ballard is low, and the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, a ball and the game's over. Strike and we got extras.
Ripped up the middle, Jeremy Langston coming on, and he cannot get the out at second. Aaron Schofield has just walked it off at an RBI single for the Aces, and the Aces, they come all the way back to win this thrilling game number 1. Final score of 17-16. Oh my goodness, this was probably the craziest game 1 I've ever seen in a series. Congratulations to the Atlantic Aces winning this thriller. Final score 17-16. We're going to get right back into game number 2. We'll start it here shortly. We're going to get the lines plugged in, and we will be back.
Jeremy, take this thing out.
We had good luck. You hit a walk-off, dude.
No. Yeah, but we also let up 16 runs.
And?
We scored 17, so still. Aaron, you're being summoned.
Yeah. Well, let me.
Dylan, I think it's 21. Why is it? I think I was just looking. I think it's 21. Oh, nice. That might have been for the game. It might be 14, but it's still up there. Over 10.
You did hit a dinger, though.
I did hit a dinger.
All that really matters.
We're going to send it down to Robert, who has Aaron Schofield, who just hit a walk-off, winning in a thrilling fashion for the Aces, 17-16. Take it away, Robert.
Talk about the ebbs and flows of that crazy game.
I mean, we started off with a 6-1 lead in the first. I thought it was going to be easy, but, man, that Cyclones team, they can hit. I think they hit like 8 home runs or something like that. Took the lead 16-8 going into that last inning, but Aces will never go down without a fight, and we were able to come out on top.
What did you see on that last at-bat there?
Oh, I mean, you know, can't actually walk it off with a walk in this league, so, you know, we got to be hitting up there. I was trying to put some good swings on it. Alex Ballard, real good pitcher. I was able to get a little bit of barrel, enough anyways, on that ball, and got the game winner.
Over an hour on the game 1, have game 2 and game 3 still left. What momentum and what do you take away from this game to bring into the next 2 games?
Well, I'd say Aces are riding high right now. I think we got, you know, kicked in the shin in that 3rd inning, but we battled back. We won it, and we're looking to take the series here.
All right, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Back to the booth, guys.
Thank you, Robert, and it's great to hear from Aaron Schofield, team captain of the Atlantic Aces, hero of that game, hitting a walk-off single to end it and win in thrilling fashion, 17-16. We're going to be getting game number 2 underway here momentarily. We will be back.
Oh my gosh. Did we lose on a walk-off? That's crazy. I expect nothing less from this team.
Boys on the boat.
Field of Dreams.
Step Brothers.
Interstellar.
Oh, yeah, Ponyo.
Remember the Titans.
Basketball. Probably most recently Oppenheimer. Inception. Prisoners.
Sandlot.
The Rookie.
Yeah, we watched the Inside the Killer Mind of Aaron Hernandez or whatever that is.
Neighbors. Interstellar.
Ratatouille.
Blazing Saddles.
Right now it's Hacksaw Ridge. Star Wars, Revenge of the Fallen, I think. For Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Fallen?
Revenge of the
What movie
Sith.
is that?
Jack, is your favorite movie really Ratatouille?
Yes.
Let's go.
It really is. Aaron, did you go to Meadowdale?
Yeah.
Are you staying safe?
I actually don't know. I'm 28.
Oh, no, you're not. You're not. Well, you're older than that.
I'll fly over from Wisconsin.
I remember your parents. This is way more important than that. Yeah. You're good for
I'm ready, baby.
We are here for game number 2 after an I don't even know what to call game 1. That was just ridiculous, offensive, thrilling. I don't know. It was unreal. 2-1 here to Aaron Schofield. And so the Aces, they ultimately win game number 1, a final score of 17-16. We did not go to extra innings either, by the way, in that game, believe it or not. Aaron Schofield starts it off with a walk here in the top of the first of game 2.
Yeah, it's going to be near impossible to top that game, but you're just hoping to see some sort of offense keep up at least. But it seems to always work that you give up 17 or 16 runs respectively, and then now it's just going to be 2 pitchers duels.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if we get any replication of what game 1 was, it's going to be a series that you don't want to miss, that's for sure. Popped up into the air, and Alex Ballard, it looks like he slipped trying to come in to grab that ball. Wasn't able to get there in time. Count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's just high there. 3-2 to Valadez. Ground ball right back to Ballard. He slips and falls, and he throws to first and still gets Valadez out. Aaron Schofield, great heads-up base running. He comes all the way around to score. The Aces take an early 1-0 lead. So a great heads-up base running by Aaron Schofield to come all the way around to score. But a great play from Alex Ballard. He slipped and fell out there and made the throw on the ground to get Valadez. Unbelievable. Morgan Granich, stepping up to the plate. Nobody on, 1 away. Looks at ball 1, or looks at strike 1, excuse me. It's fouled back. 0-2 to Granich.
And, you know, we're in a different game here, but last game, the Aces put up twice as many runs as they had outs.
And Zane Phillips, ground ball to him, but he bobbles it. And Morgan Granich gets on over at first. Dylan Carroll to the plate.
Yeah, the Aces had twice as many runs as they had outs last game. So right now, honestly, if you're Alex, you might take that 1 out to 1 run trade like we had in that first inning.
Yeah, if they could do that, I think they'd be in decent shape here in this game.
Keep the Aces to a low 9.
Yeah, a low 9 after coming off of a 16 or 17 run win.
And they weren't done yet. They didn't exercise their 3 outs. They just ended the game before.
3-1, and yeah, I know. It's crazy for the Cyclones. I mean, you come into that bottom of the 3rd up 8 runs and not able to hold on to win that game. Aces come all the way back to win it. Ripped out to center, Dylan Carroll, a 2-run shot. And the Aces now extend their lead. They lead it 3-0 in the top of the 1st. Aaron Schofield, big swing and miss for strike 1. And Ballard able to connect on the outside part of the zone. 0-2 now the count. Ripped right to Jeremy Langston. He makes the grab while holding a beverage in his hand out there at 3rd. I don't think I've ever seen that in the AWA. There we go. Unbelievable. Got a beverage and making a grab. 2 away. One and two to Valadez. That pitch misses, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's high. So Valadez, he gets on. Morgan Granich will step up to the plate. First pitch to Granich outside for a ball. 1-0. That's inside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Low for ball 3. High and outside for ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Morgan Granich. Runners on first and second for the Aces. Dylan Carroll to the plate. And now we are going to get you all a home run leaderboard update, most likely later this evening, later in the series. Hopefully, we're trying to put it all together. But Dylan Carroll, he's up there now. Has a couple of home runs so far in this series. If it's the zone, a ball and a strike. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
And since the first game was so crazy, we might have lost count up here, but Dylan might have had the
strike 3 to Dylan Carroll. But the Aces, they score 3 runs here in the top of the first. They lead it 3-0. Go to the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, Dylan's home run in that bottom of the first inning. If we weren't already over, that was the 10th home run of the series, if not higher. But at the bare minimum, Dylan's was the 10th of the series, which is crazy through 4 innings.
Yeah.
They have 10 home runs as a series.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. This is nuts. This is absolutely wild. All right. We'll be back here for bottom of the first.
Dude, I got my parents.
Oh, 1 to Jackson. There's a strike from Dylan. Ball 3. 3-1.
3 balls, 1 strike. Jackson Carr. This Carr goes around. Strike 1, 3-2. And that hits Carr for ball 4. So Jackson Carr, he works a walk. He's on first for the Cyclones. Jeremy Lankstead up to the plate.
And Jeremy's only one on the Cyclones today. No, he did show up late, but he is the only one without a home run today. So looking to change that here early.
Yep, he is the only player. And he hasn't even played a full game yet, so.
Only four or so at bats in the first game, which normally is not enough time for many people to hit a home run. But the Cyclones got to it early while he was gone.
3-1 to Jeremy Lankstead. It's fouled into the booth. Full count. Outside for ball 4. So Jeremy Lankstead is on for the Cyclones, and now this has been a crazy matchup so far this evening. Zane Phillips, he's faced Dylan Carroll 3 times up to this point, and every time he's faced Carroll, he's hit a home run. Ball 1 to Zane Phillips. Ground ball right back to Dylan Carroll. He bobbles it, throws on over to first. It gets over the head of Valadez. And everybody's safe. So Dylan Carroll did not give up a home run there to Zane Phillips. But Zane Phillips, regardless, give him a single.
Yeah, still batting average, but Dylan definitely happy to not see that 4th one go over the fence.
Yeah. That was crazy. That was, wow.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a one-sided fight either. Dylan got him back towards the end of the bottom of the 3rd last game.
It's the bottom part of the zone for a strike, 1-1. Just outside. Got that one. 2-2. Popped up into the air. Aaron Schofield underneath it, and he makes the grab for round number 1. Jackson Carr to the plate.
And a couple home runs on the day. Looking to add to that total.
Yeah, had 3 home runs in game 1. One of them was a grand slam.
It really started that comeback.
1-1. Ground ball over to Moses Valadez at first. He flips on over to Carroll, and Carroll is not there at first as Jackson Carr beats it out. A run comes in to score for the Cyclones. It's now 3-1. So an unfortunate situation here for Valadez and Carroll, as Carroll just wasn't able to get over to first in time to get the out. Great base running there from Jackson Carr to beat it out. Jeremy Lankstead steps in. First pitch ball to Lankstead. Low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. It's the zone. 2-1. Three balls, 1 strike to Lankstead. Bases are loaded. And that's outside for ball 4. So a run will come in for the Cyclones. It's now 3-2.
Not the guy Dylan wants to see walking to the plate either. Still batting 1,000, 4 for 4, 3 home runs. Probably getting pretty close to double-digit RBIs at this point.
St. Phillips had 3 home runs in game 1. And all 3 of those home runs coming off of Dylan Carroll. 2-0. Popped up into the air behind the backstop. Foul. 2-1. Popped up, Dylan Carroll underneath it, and he's finally been able to get Zane Phillips out as Alex Ballard was off of third. I don't think he knew how many outs there were, so the Aces, they double up, and the inning is over. Cyclones score a couple of runs in the bottom of the first. It's 3-2 Aces. We go to the top of the second. Aaron Schofield looks at ball 1. Ripped out to left center, gone. Aaron Schofield, he joins in on the home run parade that we're having in this series. A solo shot for him. And the Aces now go up 2. It's 4-2 in the top of the second.
Schofield puts his name in the home run column. Now we're just looking for Morgan and Jeremy. Last two guys on the day that need to go over the fence.
You know, I don't know if we've I don't know if we've ever had a situation where we've had every single player on every single team hit a home run in the series. So this is pretty rare territory that we're stepping into.
Unlikely. I mean, 8 home runs is a lot. 8 different people to hit home runs is a different story.
Yeah.
But that's what we're quickly approaching here.
61. 61. What's the count? I got you, bro.
So that is a no pitch. It was 61 miles per hour on the gun. 2-1 will remain the count. Just outside there to Valadez, 3 balls, 1 strike. That's high.
We could go band for band.
We going ham for ham. I'm gonna give him the hour.
2-1 here to Morgan Granich. Swing and a miss from him, and he strikes out. Round number 1. Excuse me, I had the count wrong there. Apologies. Dylan Carroll to the plate. That hits the zone for a strike. And that's outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count. Big swing and a miss there from Carroll, 1 and 2. Just missing. Not a bad pitch there from Ballard.
Dylan already a home run in the game, looking to tie it up here with the guy on first.
Sure we're winning. Yeah, they're up. We're up 4-2. Get your score right. Yeah, he has it right. He just said it wrong. Oh, you will. Yeah, 4-2. Yeah, but we're up 4-2. No, we're not down. You just said it wrong. You have it right.
And Dylan Carroll, strike 3.
That's what you get.
Hey, quit taunting my ground.
It's on the wrong side, right? Why would the visitor team be on top?
I don't know what to tell you.
Aaron Schofield up to the plate. Solo home run in his last at-bat. And Aaron Schofield now with double-digit home runs on the year. He goes up to 10. That was a nice pitch from Ballard. Start off Schofield on 1. Ground ball down the third base side, and that's going to be a foul ball.
And Schofield was just telling us that he was just telling us that all of his home runs are solo home runs, and that's what you get being a leadoff hitter. But also kind of just outed himself as not a clutch hitter. Can't hit with guys on.
Yeah. Well, he did have the walk-off home run or the walk-off single in game 1, so he's got some sort of clutch gene. Aaron Schofield strikes out for out number 3. No runs score for the Aces, or 1 run scores for the Aces here in the top of the second. They lead at 4-2. Go to the bottom of the second inning.
looking, I just thought it was bang bang. I'll pull up from the last game in between.
That's fouled off by Ballard. 2-1 the count. Two balls, two strikes to Ballard. As Dylan Carroll throws that too high. Full count. Ball 4.
Score 4 too.
Hey, you gonna hit your 4th home run? Jackson Carr to the plate. Big swing and a miss. The first pitch, strike 1. Does not go around. That's fouled off. Ball and 2 strikes to Carr. Carr with 3 home runs in the series, all 3 of them coming in game 1. In that crazy game when we had full count. And that hits Carr for ball 4. So Jackson Carr is on. Runners on first and second. Jeremy Langstead. Now step up to the plate. Jeremy Langstead last inning, he made a grab out there at third while holding a beverage in his hand. Not very many people can say they've done that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. 1-1.
Yeah, he was lucky he was right at him, able to use his body, kind of brace it in. You'd hate to see him have to drop the drink to make a play.
That's fouled off. 2-2. That's high. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Langstead. The pitch. Ground ball over to Aaron Schofield. He steps on second, throws to first, and it's in time to get Jeremy Langstead. A double play from Aaron Schofield, and he does that so often we're almost immune to it. But a very impressive play from Aaron Schofield as there's 2 away. Alex Ballard, he does advance all the way over there to third. So Zane Phillips, oh geez, Zane Phillips now to the plate. Talk about a guy having a day. 3 home runs. As he looks at 2 quick balls, it's 2-0. Inside, 3-0 now to Zane Phillips. Ripped. Aaron Schofield makes a diving grab, throws to first. It's not in time to get Zane Phillips. Jeez, what a play there from Aaron Schofield. Almost able to make the play on Zane Phillips. Regardless, it was still a good throw. Had an opportunity, but Zane Phillips able to beat it by a step. Run comes in to score, and so it's now 4-3 Aces. 1-1 the count to Alex Ballard. That's outside. Ground ball over to, gets past Morgan Granich. Nobody's at third, so Zane Phillips will trot into third. Runners at the corners for the Cyclones. Jackson Carr to the plate. 1-1 to Carr. 2 balls, 1 strike. Tough pitch to swing out there for Jackson Carr. Count is 2-2. Full count. Jackson Carr chases the low pitch for strike 3. But the Cyclones, they get a run back here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Aces still lead at 4-3. We go to the final inning here in game 2. Moses Valadez to the plate. He looks at ball 1. Ball and a strike. Count to Valadez. That's outside. Three and 1 here to Valadez. Ball 4.
Aces looking to add on to their 1-run lead here. Definitely been a quiet game, but not interesting. Or not that it's not interesting, but when you have a 17-16 game, it's hard to get super excited for a 4-3 kind of pitching duel.
Yeah, that was crazy. Watching that game 1. I mean, there's still possibility we could have something going on in these next couple of games. We're in the final inning of game 2. Morgan Granich steps up and looks at a ball.
Yeah, Morgan, 1 of 2 players, like we've been talking about, to not have a home run on the day. Can't help but see him swing for it here.
See if he can join in on the party, on the home run parade. Home run fest. 1 and 2. Hits the zone. That was a brutal pitch there for Morgan Granich. Strikes out looking. 1 away here in the top of the 3rd. Dylan Carroll up to the plate.
Any chance off the top of your head you know the
And that's in there. A ball and 2 strikes. Dylan Carroll. Inside. 2 and 2. Hits the brim of Carroll's hat. Full count.
That's our strat. CTE. We always win game 3. What's it count?
Fouled back into the zone. Count will remain full here to Dylan Carroll. That is so far gone. That is like halfway up that tree. A 2-run shot for Dylan Carroll. His 3rd home run of the series, and the Aces now go up 6-3 here in the top of the 3rd. Unbelievable. Wow.
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Wow. This has been crazy. Just watching all these guys hit these home runs tonight. It's wow. An absolute frenzy of home runs. Ball 1 here to Aaron Schofield. Schofield has 1 home run on the evening. 1-on-1.
I'm not gonna say it. I know. I was like, shit. I was about to get it. No.
Oh, sorry. One sec.
2 balls, 1 strike. Count to Schofield, and goes around there for strike 2. Ball 3, full count to Schofield. Nobody on 1 away. Ground ball over to Jeremy Langstead. Throws to first. It's not even close. Aaron Schofield, he's so quick on the base paths. So he is on. Now Moses Valadez is going to step up to the plate. First pitch outside. That's inside, 2-0. Ripped over past Zane Phillips. Thought he might have had that. Not able to hold on. So that'll be a hard hit single for Valadez. There's now runners on first and second.
Ball just hit too hard to make a play on it for Zane, but good job on him for keeping it in front of him because Sco is one of those.
Ripped out to center, and it's going to bounce in front of the fence. Aaron Schofield comes all the way around to score, so it's now 7-3 Aces on the RBI single for Morgan Granich.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the fastest players in the league, but he kind of cut me off there by just showing us instead of having me tell us about it. So thank you, Sco.
Popped up into the air. And Zane Phillips makes the grab. Out number 2.
Was I like closer to 10? Okay. I hope I never get to 40.
Moses Valadez looks at strike 1. 0-1. Ground ball in play. Alex Ballard takes it himself and gets the third and final out here in the top of the third. Aces, they add on to their lead. They now lead it 7-3. We go to the bottom of the third inning.
You know, after both of you guys trash talked me, I hit a home run. So we need you guys to start doing that more. No doubt about it. All right. I gotta be better. There's no way I'm all there. I want to see the video.
Moses Valadez now on the mound. He's taking over for Dylan Carroll here in the bottom of the third. 2-0, quick 2-0 to Jeremy Langstead. Hits the zone for a strike, 2-1. Two and 1 the count. Langsted. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hits the zone. Jeremy Langsted strikes out looking for out number 1. 1 away in the bottom of the 3rd as the Aces are trying to win this game 2 and secure a series win. Zane Phillips now to the plate. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. That's high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside for ball 2. 2-1.
Cyclones got some work to do here. I'm already 1 out in the inning, down 7-3, but I would say it seems hard, but we saw it last inning, or last game, that they can put up runs quick.
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to be saying anything more. I mean, both of these offenses have been very explosive here today, so no lead is safe for either of these teams. That's fouled off. 2-2 to Zane Phillips. Ripped foul on the 3rd base side. 2-2 will remain the count. Two here to Zane. Pitch from Valadez. Hits the zone, strike 3. What a pitch from Valadez. Unbelievable. Out number 2, 2 away.
Yeah. Are you using the thumb thing? I am, yeah. Did you just catch that?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Low to Alex Ballard for ball 1. And that's high for ball 2, 2-0. Aces just an out away from securing this game 2 victory and a series win. 3-0. Popped up into the air, hits the roof of the house. Foul ball. 3-1 out of Alex Ballard. Nobody on. 2 away. Cyclones down 4. That's outside. So Alex Ballard works a walk. Runner on first for the Cyclones. Jackson Carr to the plate.
Yeah, looking ahead here, if somehow Jackson and Jeremy both manage to get on, Zane comes up with the bases loaded, and he's definitely been the hottest hitter here today.
Oh, by far. I mean, every time Zane Phillips comes up to the plate, it's just like you think. And that's a line drive right there in Schofield. He makes the grab for out number 3 in the Aces. They hold on and they win it 7-3 in game 2, and they secure the series win against the Cyclones. We are going to get game number 3 started here shortly. We're going to slot in the lineups, and we'll be back for the start of game 3.
Zane's going to pitch game, or inning 1. Who's going to start? I'll just do that. All right. So, I'm going to go get my coffee real quick. Yeah. Yeah, win is whoever lost. No save off. Win. Whoa. I mean, the easiest way.
And we're going to send it down to Robert for an interview with Morgan Greenwich. Take it away, Robert.
Yes. That's why I got confused. Like, what the hell? All right, you're pitching here in the final game. What do you expect?
A lot of strikes. A lot of strikes coming in hot here.
A tough 2 games there. What was your reaction after the first game, kind of gaining some momentum there?
It was pretty, wasn't surprised, but pretty perplexed. Didn't really have much to say. It wasn't, not surprised we came back. You know, it's in our blood.
All right, good luck the rest of the way, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Griffey, Nolan Ryan, Mike Piazza, Pedro Martinez.
Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., Pete Rose, and Hank Aaron.
I mean, we'll put Clemente up there. I'll put Ichiro up there all day. Randy's my guy. How about a Ted Williams?
Tim Lincecum. I'll put my boy Barry up there. Babe Ruth.
Randy.
Ichiro. We'll just do it.
Willie Mays, Hank Aaron. I feel like I have to say Babe Ruth, Seattle legend, Ken Griffey Jr.
Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., Ted Williams, Sandy Koufax.
Ty Cobb, Ken Griffey Jr., Pete Rose, Barry Bonds.
Probably Bonds, Mays, say Griffey, Pujols.
Ken Griffey Jr. I'm doing it. I'm putting Shohei Ohtani on there. Let's put another active player. Put Mike Trout on there. Let's put Babe Ruth, I guess. Yeah, I guess you guys. I think that was total series. 5 in a series. For 3 games. Oh, team and team. No. It's gotta be up there though. Oh,
Are we ready? Yeah. All right, pitch it.
Let's go.
Here to start game 3, and the Aces, they're just gonna all play on the ground, it looks like. Ground ball over to Moses Valadez, and yeah, I don't know what they were doing there. That wasn't effective at all, but all right.
And maybe a little disrespect. They know they're up 2-0 on the series already. See if they can't just sit down and trust Morgan to strike out Jackson, who's been swinging a hot bat today.
Yeah. Jeremy Langsted to the plate. Jeremy Langsted comes to the plate, and he rips that out to left center field for a 2-run shot. The Cyclones, they go ahead early here in this game 3, and we were mentioning that everybody here has hit a home run so far, aside from Morgan Granich and Jeremy Langsted, and Jeremy Langsted has just hit it. So Morgan Granich is now the only player here who has not hit a home run so far tonight.
Yeah, I know you've been here quite a bit more than that. That's the first one I've seen really get close to that target up there. It hit about 5 feet above it in the tree.
Yeah, so yeah, and you mentioned it. I actually had one that was pretty close to it as well. That was closer than that one, but yes, you're right. That was very close to.
As far as I'm aware, still
tree.
no one has hit the target up there.
Exactly. Yep. Correct. Nobody has hit it yet. That is ripped to Aaron Schofield. He makes the grab for out number 1, and I mean Zane Phillips just continues to just crush the ball. Every time he gets up to the plate, he's hitting it hard.
Even his outs are solid. I mean, not many people make that play except for Aaron.
Alex Ballard to the plate. Looks at ball 1. Low for ball 2, 2-0. It's outside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Ball 4 to Ballard, and he works a walk, so he gets on.
I'm just bobbing up there.
Yeah, and quite a few people in the league are coming around to throw in that knuckleball, but there's really only a couple people where that's their main pitch, Morgan being one of them.
Yeah, Morgan pretty much just strictly a knuckleball thrower. That's really all he tends to throw out there on the mound. Is Jackson Carr goes over the fence for a 2-run shot. Jackson's 4th home run of the series, 5th home run on the year. Jackson Carr is having an absolute day. Wow. Unbelievable. Jeremy Langsted to the plate. Cyclones lead it 4-0 here in the top of the 1st inning. Granich throws that one outside.
And that home run from Jackson, our 14th on the day.
Absolutely insane. 14 home runs total in this series. Popped up into the air. Morgan Granich makes the grab for out number 2. 2 away.
And if you hit 2 more home runs today, you have the home run lead.
Yeah?
Yeah. Pass
Now
Mark
for
up
sure
here.
striking out every bat.
Zane Phillips now to the plate for the Cyclones. Cyclones up 4-0 here in the top of the 1st inning. First pitch to Phillips is high. Ball 1. Ground ball on the third base side. Fair ball. Aaron Schofield throws out of play. So Zane Phillips will be awarded 2nd on the overthrow from Aaron Schofield. Zane will go on over there to 2nd. And Alex Ballard steps up to the plate. First pitch to Ballard is a ball, 1-0. And that's fouled back. 1-1 the count. Popped up into the air. Morgan Granich just couldn't get there in time. Ball and 2 strikes. Ball and 2 strikes here to Alex Ballard. Runner on 2nd, 2 away. Here in game 3, Aces are 2 games up in the series against the Cyclones. Cyclones just trying to salvage this game and not get swept. 2-2. Popped up into the air. Morgan Granich makes the grab for out number 3. But the Cyclones, they put 4 runs up here in the top of the first. They lead it 4-0. Go to the bottom of the first inning. Aaron Schofield up to the plate for the Aces. This is down 4 runs here in this game 3. But as we know, Aces, they came all the way back in game 1 and won game 1 17-16. So we know no lead is big enough for this Aces squad. 2-1 the count. As Schofield swinging a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's low for ball 3. Full count now. Ground ball over to Alex Ballard, and he just can't field it cleanly. So Aaron Schofield beats that out. He's on first, and now Moses Valadez to the plate. Popped up into the air. Zane Phillips underneath it. He makes the grab. And Aaron Schofield.
There was no tag.
He tagged up, and he beat it over. That was unreal. Aaron Schofield just tagged up on a pop-up to the pitcher, and he gets there. Unreal. Wow. Great base running from Aaron Schofield. Morgan Granich looks at ball 1.
He just knows he's one of the fastest players in the league, and it's hard to hit someone moving that fast from that far away with a wiffle ball.
Yeah, that was crazy. Ripped out to center, and Morgan Granich, he's joined the home run party, and that was the final player that we needed to have a home run, and now everybody on the field has hit a home run so far in this series. Wow, 15 total home runs in this series between the Aces and the Cyclones. And the score is now 4-2. Cyclones lead it. Wow. I have never seen that in the history of the AWA, where we have every player on the field hitting a home run in a series. And that's a 4-pitch walk to Dylan Carroll, so he's on. I mean, this is just insane. I mean, for every single player on the field to hit a home run in a series, it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I mean, it's just both of these offenses for the Cyclones and the Aces are both 2 very explosive offenses, and these teams have put up a ton of runs so far here today. And the crazy thing is they're not done.
Yeah, It's even crazier that there's an asterisk next to any of that. You know, a team isn't playing with 3 guys. We haven't gotten into extra innings. It's just been straight up playing. And
Yeah.
we've gotten to this. 15 home runs on the day. Everyone has at least one.
I think what's most impressive about that is, like you said, we haven't played extra innings at all today. So for that to happen, 15 home runs total, every single player on the field having a home run, at least one home run, while not playing in any extra innings, that's pretty incredible. Valadez looks at ball 1.
It's not like they just have one either. Half of them have multiple, up to Jackson today has 4.
Spiked into the zone for a ball, 2-1. And that's inside, 3-1. Big cut from Valadez. Full count. Runners on first and second. Aces down a couple of runs here in the bottom of the second inning. Aces trying to go for the sweep here in this game.
That was a hack.
1-1, Dylan Carroll. 4-3 is the score as Carroll looks at another ball, 2-1.
Ball 4? I don't know how to count. 3-1? Okay, I can't count.
Rip to Jackson Carr. He can't make the grab. He tags out Morgan Grange for an out, but a run comes in to score for the Aces, and they tie it up 4-4 in the bottom of the first inning. Aaron Schofield comes in to score. Runners at the corners. Aaron Schofield having a great day. Got a home run in the series and also had the winning hit in game 1. Popped up. Foul. 1-1 now the count.
Not even a foul ball,
That's high to Schofield, 2-1. Low and outside. And Aaron Schofield now looking at a full count here with runners at the corners. Three-two to Schofield, and he looks at ball 4. So Aaron Schofield with a walk. Bases are loaded now for the Aces. Moses Valadez to the plate.
Moses really got the party started here early in game 1 with that grand slam up over the tree. It's been a while, but you know you'd love to do it again.
First pitch here to Valadez inside for ball 1. Ripped out to center. Jeremy Langsted makes the grab off of the wall, but it hit the wall, so that is not a catch, as 3 runs come in to score. That's a bases clearing triple for the Aces, and it's now 7-4. Or no.
Yeah, hey Jack, you stop at 6 there, right?
So it is not a bases clearing triple, as the maximum that you can score in an inning is 6 unless you do it via the home run. So that double from Valadez only scores 2. So the Aces, they reach the run limit in the bottom of the first. They put up 6 runs, lead at 6-4 as we go to the top of the second inning. First pitch here to Jackson Carr is outside for ball 1. And that's fouled off. 1-1 the count. Outside. 2-1. That's inside for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Jackson Carr. 4 home runs in this series. Ground ball to Morgan Granich, and Granich tags out Carr for out number 1. 1 away. Jeremy Langsted. Step up. Langsted had a home run earlier in this game. Sitting at a 6-4 score right now as Langsted takes ball 1. Popped up into the air. It'll stay in the yard. Aaron Schofield underneath it and makes the grab for round number 2. 2 away.
2 quick outs for Morgan out here, especially after getting the lead. You love to see that if you're an Aces fan.
Zane Phillips will now step up to the plate. Phillips, 3 home runs. 11 home runs on the year for Zane Phillips. Been an unbelievable season for Phillips offensively. Phillips, a rookie last season in the league, and just absolutely having an incredible sophomore season. Is huge swing and a miss on the inside, knuckleball 1 and 2. Just high there to Phillips, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two the count to Zane Phillips. Nobody on. 2 away. Cyclones down 2 runs. Top of the second. Ripped out to center. Gone. Zane Phillips, his 12th home run of the season. And the Cyclones, they get another run back. It's 6-5 here in the top of the second. Unbelievable. Zane Phillips, that's his 4th home run here in this series. 12 home runs on the year. Alex Ballard now to the plate. Hits the top part of the zone for a strike, 0-1. And it's Ballard on the back, 1-1. Two and 1 here to Ballard. Huge swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count to Alex Ballard. The pitch from Greenwich popped up into the air. Aaron Schofield underneath it, and he makes the grab for the third and final out. But the Cyclones, they get a run back. St. Phillips, a solo home run. Aces lead at 6-5. We go to the bottom of the second. Oh, and 2 here to Morgan Greenwich. Hits the zone, strike 3. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. Aces up a run in the bottom of the second, lead at 6-5. They would love to try to add on some insurance runs to help them secure the series sweep here against the Cyclones.
Yeah, we saw what happened last time. The Cyclones came into the third inning down a run, so you would love to see the Aces add on.
That's high to Dylan Carroll for ball 1, or ball 2, excuse me, 2-0. That hits the stand, the TikTok stand. Apologize about that. 2-2. Count to Dylan Carroll.
Both legs.
That hits Carroll for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled off. Count remains full here for Dylan Carroll.
Yeah, if Dylan could find a way to get this ball over to the fence, he'll be the 4th person here today, or the 3rd person here today with 4 home runs.
Crazy. Zane Phillips and Jackson Carr being the other 2 as Carroll looks at ball 4. So Carroll is on. Aaron Schofield to the plate. Schofield goes around, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ripped out to left as Jack Blayhouse, the commissioner, makes the grab out there in Club 65. A 2-run home run for Aaron Schofield, and the Aces add on 2 needed insurance runs as they go ahead 8-5 here in the bottom of the second.
That puts Schofield into the double digits on the year. Nice to see him get up and the 10 mark along the second level.
10 home runs for Aaron Schofield, 12 home runs for Zane Phillips as they both go into the double-digit categories. Very impressive for them. Moses Valadez fouls that one off. That's ball one, 1-1 to Valadez. Ripped out to center off the tree. It's underneath the yellow line on the tree out there, so it will not be a home run.
You're welcome.
First pitch to Morgan Granich is inside. 1-0. That's fouled off. 1-1 to Morgan Granich.
Looking to help himself out here. Definitely wants a larger lead going into that next inning. Get as much breathing room as possible.
2-1. So that hits the zone for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Granich. Popped up into the air. Alex Ballard makes the grab. Out number 2. 2 away now here in the bottom of the second inning. Dylan Carroll will step up to the plate. First pitch to Dylan Carroll is in there for strike 1. Great pitch there from Ballard. And that's just outside for a ball. Popped up into the air. Alex Ballard underneath it, and he makes the grab. But the Aces, they add on a few runs to their lead. They lead at 8-5. We go to the final inning in game number 3.
Quick pitch me. Get out of here.
First pitch here to Jackson Carr, swinging a miss. Strike 1. Aces up 8-5 here in the final inning of the final game of the series. Trying to shut this thing down and secure the series sweep. 2-1 to Jackson Carr. Ground ball right back to Morgan Granich. Throws to first, and it's in time to get Jackson Carr. It was a close play. We'll take a look at it just to make sure. Call on the field is confirmed. Jackson Carr out at first.
The replay confirmed it, brother.
1 away. Jeremy Lankstead up to the plate. Ripped to Aaron Schofield. He makes the grab.
What's the call?
So so Jeremy Lankstead is safe. The ball did hit the ground. So Lankstead is safe over there at first. And now Zane Phillips to the plate. First pitch to Zane is in there for strike 1, 0-1. That's fouled off. 0-2 the count to Zane Phillips. That's fouled off. 0-2 will remain the count to Zane Phillips. Cyclones down 3 runs here in the top of the 3rd inning. That's outside. 1-2 to Zane Phillips. Ground ball over to Moses Valadez at first, and he tags out Jeremy Langstead for out number 2. Great play there from Moses Valadez, able to get the lead runner. And there's now 2 away. Alex Ballard will step up to the plate.
Cyclones down to their final out, but saying that a couple games ago, and then they end up putting a handful of runs on the board. So definitely not out of it till the last out's recorded.
Yeah, neither of these teams is out of it until the last out happens, because it's been unbelievable how many runs these teams have been able to score here in this series as Ballard fouls that one off. Ball and a strike. That's fouled back as well. 1-2. Now the count to Ballard. Cyclones down to their final strike. That's high. 2-2 now to Ballard. Pitch on the way. That's outside. Full count to Alex Ballard. Aces trying to secure this series sweep. Cyclones trying to avoid it. The pitch. Ground ball right back to Morgan Grant. This should do it. Flips on over to first and gets the out on Alex Ballard. The Atlantic Aces, they complete the sweep and win game number 3. Final score of 8-5. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here tonight for Atlantic Aces against the Central Cyclones. It was an unbelievable offensive series for both of these squads, but the Aces come out on top and sweep the Cyclones. Thank you, everybody. We hope everybody has a great rest of the night, and we look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. Good night, everybody.